Good morning, card community. It's RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. One of the few cards I have in my collection that is from a product that is a golf set offering from 2012 from SP Authentic Golf. This is card number 70 of Mike Schmidt, called The Parade of Stars. SP Authentic Golf that year had a part of the base set. This is card number 70 of the base set, but a little subset in there was famous sports athletes and other celebrities who were playing in various golf tournaments, and they slipped them into their cards. So this is the Mike Schmidt version. I thought about getting all the different baseball players that appeared in that list. There's not a ton of them, but just not something I'm interested in. I do kind of want to do this for the Cooperstown. There is a Cooperstown, Panini Cooperstown did a golf subset in one of theirs. I thought about getting that one yet, but I haven't begun that process. Anyway, that is my random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Today's random baseball item of the day. Kind of a little bit of backstory here. I have in my possession a collection of cards where I have one card of every member of the Hall of Fame. Now, most of them are reprint or reissued or modern retrospective sets because some of the players, some of the people in the Hall of Fame, first of all, they didn't have baseball cards ever, or the cards to pick up a period card of that person was too expensive, and they may not fit nicely in the binder I have because it's some of the old cards aren't 3x5 or 2.5x3.5. Excuse me. So I have a bunch of different cards in my Hall of Fame binder. Now it's a hodgepodge, therefore I don't mind, but a lot of them come from this set. This is a card of Harry Wright, The Origins of Baseball. Card set came out in, I believe, 1994. Produced by a company called American Archives. It's a high glossy set that just tells the history of baseball pretty much prior to 1900. Now, some of the images, some of the stories do extend past 1900, but this is what the card looks like, and it's got a bio on the back. Talks a little bit about Harry Wright, then just goes on to other things. But this is one of the few cards I had in my collection that had a picture of Harry Wright. Until the other day, if you saw the video, I opened up a box of Panini Panini Cooperstowns from 2013, and I pulled this one. The Harry Wright, I guess Cooperstown Global or something like that. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but it's, what does it say here? It doesn't really say. It's basically showing people who are from different countries who were involved in international play. That's the insert set, number 9 out of the international play insert set. And it has Harry's picture. Here he is as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, believe it or not. And it's a different card, something different I can put into my Hall of Fame set that didn't have this kind of a card before. So I can swap out this guy for this one, which I think looks a little bit better. Plus, it shows Harry more along the lines of how he is remembered by baseball historians, much more as a manager, pioneer, versus here he is in his Cincinnati Reds and Boston playing days. So I'm going to use this one now in my Hall of Fame set and going forward. Today's trivia question. It's getting close to the postseason, so I'm going to start throwing out some interesting World Series and playoff questions for you. So, World Series question. What year was the last year that the World Series took place where every single game took place at the same stadium? So what I'm saying is every game of that year's World Series happened at the same ballpark. So what is the last year that happened? So send me an email, which you're playing for, and I'll explain this in a second. 5 cards from 1974 Topps. These are actual 1974 Topps cards. Just random hodgepodge, and I'll explain again why this is the prize in a second. But so Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher Nellie Bryles, one-time 20-game winner Dave McNally. He was part of the 4 Baltimore Orioles who all pitched who won 21 games. I believe it was in 71. Darrell Porter, eventually a catcher for the Cardinals in the 82 World Series. He got himself a ring. Bill Freehan, really good quality catcher, probably the best catcher of the 60s, a lot of people might say. This is before Bench owned the 70s. And then Hall of Fame manager Walter Alston with Tommy Lasorda as a coach. So a pretty good little 2 Hall of Famer card there. So 5 random 1974 Topps cards for you. If you can answer that question, shoot me an email. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that. So, why 5 random 1974 Topps cards? So, the answer is this. I'm going to put it down in front of you. Big, bulky thing. This is my 1974 Topps set. It's in a binder. I'm not going to go through it all. It started off, obviously, with the Hank Aaron retrospective because he was about to become the home run king. But I just got a card in the mail the other day, and what it did was it gave me the final piece I needed. And now what you see before you is what is called a master set. The 1974 Topps set had a couple variations, and it had a traded set, and then it had a team checklist set that was different than the team cards. I'll show you that in a second. And all of that, there were a couple variations. In fact, there were, well, let's talk about it, okay? So, outside of the main 1974 Topps set, which was comprised of 660 cards, famously, what you have is the 1974 San Diego Padres, who were possibly going to move to Washington, D.C. Now, because of that, several cards, the first series, in other words, it was still being released in 2 series, one early in the year, one later. The early cards came out with a Washington logo, Washington name, versus the San Diego name on the Padres. Let me see. I didn't pull a Padres card, so give me a second. I will pull one. Just flip to a Padre card real quick so I can pull it for you. So here is a San Diego card of Johnny Grubb. San Diego Padres outfield. But the original release, the Series 1 release, was this. It had Washington as the city. They really believed it was a done deal, so they put Washington as the city name. And they didn't know what the team name was going to be, so they just put National League down there. Other than that, the card is the same. Did I just see it? The card is exactly the same, other than that little error. Not error, I should say variation. And it's a very well-known variation. Only the first series has it. So I'm going to show off my list of variation Washington cards. So these guys are all available in the San Diego logo as well as the Washington. So you got Johnny Grubb. Most of these guys are people we never even heard of. Condition, I don't care about. I'm not one to worry about condition in my sets. Some people do. I don't care. A lot of these cards you'll see are really beat up and tattered. I don't care. I'm happy to have them in my set. Fred Kendall, Rich Troedson, Bill Grief, good grief, Nate Colbert, David Hilton. Dave Hilton is on the, in fact, this looks like the exact same image of a picture of him on Mike Schmidt's rookie card, David Hilton. Randy Jones, eventually a Cy Young Award winner. Miscut here too. Vincent Romo, a little bit of a miscut on the side, another card sticking out there. Now, this is what the normal team cards looked like. Obviously, it's got the Washington as opposed to the San Diego. But this is what normal team cards look like. There was no checklist on the back, but it was like batting stats and whatnot. This one's Glenn Beckert. You can see this one's been through the ringer. It even looks like it's got a little bit of a bullet hole up there or something. I don't know. The William McCovey card. This one here, the Dave Roberts, got a seriously bad cut up there. Dave Roberts eventually made it to the Phillies. I think he has a 1983 Topps card. Clarence Gaston, better known as Cito Gaston, manager of the Blue Jays teams that won 2 World Series in 1992 and 1993, beat our Phillies. Thank you very much, Cito. Rich Morales, and then another, oh, this is the Randy Jones regular card. I don't know why I had that one pulled. I don't know why that's there. I'll have to make sure it didn't get misplaced in the regular thing. Anyway, so that is that well-known variation, all right? Now, there are a couple other variations, which are what you typically expect, meaning something on the card was done in error and quickly fixed. So first we have this one of the Alou brothers, Jesus Alou. The position ended up not being there on this card, so that is a random variation. And we have a couple rookie leaders. Here is the rookie card of Bob Apodaca, well-known pitcher up into the 80s with the Mets. But in this particular case, the name is correctly spelled Apodaca, but in this one, for some reason, Apodaco. Don't know why they got that all messed up, but that was the other variation. Here's one with 2 variations. So, because this was a Series 1 release, the rookie pitcher's card here has Dave Frizzleben, or Frizzleben, as being with Washington, whereas everybody else has the city and the team name. Dave just had Washington. Now, eventually, when they didn't come out properly, they re-released the card with, well, actually, I should show this one first. They re-released the card with the correct thing, San Diego Padres. But for whatever reason, somebody realized that they changed the font size on this name because it doesn't match the other guys here. If you can even tell or care, the font size was a little off. So they corrected that to get the font size down right, and that is a variation. So those are your variations in the cards themselves. Lastly, there was a traded set. I'm not going to show the traded cards. There's no variations in the traded cards. I can't remember how many there are, 70 or so, with a checklist, so you can get a traded set that they issued later in the year. But the other thing was those checklist team cards. So what you would get, and here's a basic one of the San Diego Padres. Now, these did not come out until later in the year, so they did not have the errors with the Washington, but it's just a card with a white background, and some of the players' signatures are added. Not all of them, interestingly, but some of them. And then on the back, you had what we would call a checklist for a standard team card. On the back of our standard team cards, when we grew up, this checklist would be there. But every one of these is varied. All of the 20, well, actually back then it was I guess it was still 24 teams because the Mariners and the Blue Jays had not yet been added. But the cards were issued in 2 variations, and that variation is this. There you go. The asterisk at the bottom. If you see on this one, there is a singular asterisk. And what I just got in the mail, which I was still looking for, is the 2 asterisk variation. So I have every single one of these team checklists now with both the 1 checklist, 1 asterisk and 2 asterisk variations. That was the last one, and I will rave a little bit about this because this one came through thetradingcarddatabase.com. I actually got this in trade from another individual, another collector. You can see the tradingcarddatabase.com really does work. That is the last card I needed. That asterisk variation was the last one I needed. I now have essentially a master set of 1974 Topps. Every card in every variation that it exists in. Very happy about that. Quite an accomplishment, even though the quality is crap. I don't care. I'm happy to be there. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you guys, let me know if you have a master set of anything. I will say this: I'm not wasting my effort. I'm not wasting time, money, or an effort to get a master set of any modern set because they purposely make dozens of short prints of modern sets. I'm not wasting my time with it. They have the Hall of Fame image variations they put in there. No, I'm not going to try and get a master set of any. Besides, what would a master set be? Would it all be? Would it be all the parallels? What would it be? You know what I'm saying? So, if you want to do a master set of anything, I highly recommend it be, I don't know, prior to, well, you decide. I would say anything prior to 1990 and above and below, that maybe I would say would qualify as a master set of something. But even that, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd try. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, please let me know if you guys are working on any master sets. I'd love to know if I'm the only crazy person out there. I want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. All right. Thank you for watching. Come back again on Wednesday and Friday. We got more trivia prizes to give away. I hope to see you then. All right. Have a great day. Take care.